Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Not RV. If this is your first time watching, I'm Chris, and today we're going to go ahead and replace a rooftop air conditioner. Let's get to it. Remember, if you want to learn more and make less mistakes while RVing, be sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like and a comment down below. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Now, I'm doing this video for two main purposes. Of course, number one, and the first part of the video is going to be how to replace an RV rooftop air conditioner, okay? It's really not that complicated of a process, so we're gonna get right into that. But the second purpose is about this air conditioner itself, testing it, seeing what it's like, because it's a pretty awesome system. I did already do an initial video on it before I had the product, just kind of talking about what it is and what to expect. It's from a company called Gree, and Premier Products is one that's fulfilling it. And check out link in the description below to that video and you can see that stuff. But let's get to the install first, and then at the end of the video we're going to do all the testing and noise level, cooling efficiency, all that type of stuff. We're going to kind of do that at the end of the video, okay? But let's get to the install. Of course, first things first, whenever you're doing this, is to cut your power off, okay? Simple little breaker inside your RV. Find the one that is for the air conditioner that you are replacing and click that off. Now, if your system is like mine and it is not labeled and you have no idea what breaker it is that turns off the air conditioner, what I did is I turned the air conditioner on, the fan only on low. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and just go through and I'm gonna just start clicking breakers. Oh, that was pure luck. Clicking breakers until you find the one that cuts it off. Obviously now I know that is for the main air conditioner, so I'm going to go ahead and label that for future reference, but now I know I have no power up there. Next, we are going ahead and removing the internal fan shroud. Now, every single air conditioner is a little bit different, so I'm not going to tell you what yours is, but you just got to find the screws and remove this shroud. For me, it's just a couple of them, so I'm just going to take this down. Once your interior cover is down, now we need to go ahead and remove this next piece. And again, different RV air conditioners are a little bit different configured, but typically there are 4 bolts in essentially what's the 4 corners of the opening, and you got to remove those bolts. They're pretty long bolts because they go up through the roof, but we're going to go and remove those and get this whole thing dropped down. So once that's down, now I've exposed all my electrical, okay? Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect my 120 volt electrical, which is right here. You can see that the air conditioning comes in on this side, and so inside this box it's connected to the 120. That this is what goes to the circuit breaker. So I'm going to take that cover off. I'm going to disconnect that electrical first, and then I'm going to work on the DC wiring. And again, different RVs and different air conditioners are different, wired up a little bit differently, so I'm not going to show you the details, but basically you just want to disconnect your electrical and make a note of it. Take a picture of it first if you want to, so you know exactly what wires go to what, but it's very simple to do. So I went ahead and removed the 120 line, and then I actually just snipped it because I couldn't get the conduit back out, or the electrical back out through the conduit box. And now I have taken a picture of my DC wiring right here, and then I have just a couple of phone connection plugs because that's how everything communicates in here, and then this little plug here. But you just start undoing all this stuff. Okay, I took a picture of it so I know what colors go to what wire, and that way the new one I can figure out what wires need to go to what color. All right, so now all of my wiring is completely disconnected, and this is all the stuff that comes up from the unit above. This is basically pretty much free at this point. I should be able to start to lift this up off the roof a little bit. But what I'm going to do is because Airstream puts an actual drain line in and gets it done that way, I'm going to go ahead and remove the drain line here from the inside, which is just little pinch connectors, but most RVs aren't going to have this, but in my case I do, so I'm going to go and remove that so I have this down and out of the way. All right, so again, now with everything free, the whole unit just is completely free up there. I'm going to go ahead and get up on the roof. We're going to get this thing down off the roof safely. All right, so now I'm up on the roof and I have the unit and it's completely loose. That's why it's a little bit crooked. And my goal right now, just because I'm doing this by myself, is to get this from there to over here. And I'm going to use my tractor with the forklifts to go ahead and get that down. But you can very easily do this with 2 people, basically 2 sets of ladders side by side, and you can each carry it, go down 1 rung at a time. That's what I did in a previous replacement, and I'm not sure if that was included in that video, but either way I'll drop a link to that video of when I replaced a 5th wheel rooftop AC, but almost the exact same AC unit. But anyways, you just gotta get this down off the roof safely. All right, so I have the old Dometic unit down on the ground. I used the tractor to get it down. It was not very easy. But again, the ideal thing is 2 people with 2 ladders, and you can just take a step down, take a step down, take a step down. Again, old video when I did that, in the link in the description below. But now that I have these down, I'm gonna get to work on figuring out how to get the thermostat to basically communicate with this new unit. I'm gonna try and get it to work. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it to work. If not, it has its own remote, it has its own stuff, but I would like for everything to still be as if it was, you know, stock from Airstream, work on the same thermostat, stuff like that. So I'm gonna take these things apart, see what I can do, see what I can come up with. Okay, so let me tell you about kind of what I did here, all right? Now this board here is from the inside of the Dometic unit. I just was very careful to take it out, took all the wires off. Again, made note of all the wires and stuff first, took everything out. Now, this sensor is my outdoor temperature sensor. This sensor is my indoor temperature sensor. And then this sensor is the freeze temperature sensor for the coil. This is your main power that comes in. Red is positive, black is negative, and then the 2 blue wires on the back side are for the furnace. Okay, and I took a picture of that before I had undid everything, and I rewired that stuff back up. Okay, the black to the purple, because that's what the positive is, or excuse me, red to purple, black to white, and then my 2 blues for my furnace. Now I also have my RJ connectors here, little phone line type connectors. That's communication wire, and I have that stuff down here as well. The whole reason I did all this is so that my thermostat, which I'll go ahead and show you my thermostat here, can still work the furnace without interruption. Now, I'm not going to have it control the new AC unit because, of course, it is a heat pump unit. It's a little bit more advanced than just simple on and off. Okay, so I can't really reuse this on that new one because it's a little bit more advanced of a system. Has a low and a high and stuff like that for the compressor, and the fans have 3 speeds versus just 2. And then there's also a swing motor for it. So I'm just going to use a remote control myself and probably put that near the same spot. But anyways, so this is what I did. Reused the same connectors for the 4-pin communication wires. I rewired this back up in, and then I have my temperature sensors all on here. I'm going to route this stuff through the new unit. So like this one will go outside and actually be an outdoor temperature sensor. The freeze sensor, I'll do the same thing. I'll put it into the coil just to know if it ever freezes or whatnot. And then this is the indoor temperature sensor. Now back here is my actual thermostat. And you can see now the thermostat is on and functions. I can go onto it and I can turn on my gas furnace. I can set the temperature up. I have to turn it up real high right now. I'm not sure if you can hear that or not. But so that kicked on the gas furnace. Okay, and then same thing with my unit second zone, which is here in the bedroom. Okay, I can still use this exact same thermostat, exact same setup by doing what I did with the board there. So I can turn it on, set the temperature, it'll go through its thing, it'll delay, it'll eventually turn on here in just a second. So like magic, that all works now. And again, I'm still using my thermostat that I had upgraded to. Same thing, if you had the Dometic thermostat back here, that's how you could get this to work. So you're still using your furnace, you're still using your second zone, but now your new air conditioner you're replacing is a good bit of an upgrade. I'm gonna turn this off. Now I know this might seem a little bit daunting to some people, but again, you know, this video I'm showing for a couple of different reasons. Number one is just general replacement. If you're replacing your AC unit with the exact same unit that you already have, then all the plugs are just simple. You just plug, easy, ready to go. If you're upgrading, if you're changing systems, if you're going from a Dometic to a Coleman, or if you're in my situation, you're going to this new Gree unit, which is a super efficient unit, there's not a direct plug. So you do have to do this little extra step if you want to have 2 zones. Now, of course, different RVs, single zone, not going to have as much complications with just a single zone system. Again, I'm just showing you exactly what I'm doing for my situation. You take it and run with it for your situation. So let's get back to the regular install and get this new unit up on the roof. Also on this board are these set of dip switches. I turned off the heat pump switch. So the only switch that's on is for the furnace. I'm not sure if you can really see with the angle. There you go. You can see it. That one switch that's on, third one from the bottom, is for furnace. So that's really all that's telling the thermostat back there that is active is that there is a furnace. So it still thinks that there's this regular air conditioner, but of course I'm not using the regular air conditioner portion. So that thermostat back there will be for the furnace for zone 1, regular air conditioning for zone 2. And I'm gonna have my own thermostat here for the main air conditioning and heat pump system that we're gonna put in. And so here on the new Gree unit, I went ahead and just took off the top styrofoam covers, just 4 little screws. I put my outdoor temperature sensor right here in the front. Okay, so I just kind of screwed it down, and then I routed my wire over here around this little bar, and that will then go down and inside, and I'll plug it into that board. Again, is this even needed? No, absolutely not. I just like having data and stuff like that, so it'll be nice for the outdoor temperature sensor to be displayed on that thermostat inside the bedroom. Okay, so here on the bottom side of the unit, I got my large foam gasket, and it's just gonna go right in this little square right here. I'm gonna go ahead and set my phone down to get it perfectly on there, but the large square foam gasket goes here in the front where the bolt holes are at. All right, so with that one applied to the back, now we have the small foam strip, and that's gonna go here along the back side, basically right down this little channel here. All right, so with this stuff applied, I'm gonna go ahead and now load this up on the tractor and get it up onto the roof. But again, if you got 2 people, 2 ladders, you can just walk it right up nice and slow and sit steady. All right, so I got the new unit up here. I got it pretty decently centered on my opening, but I'm gonna go on the inside now and turn it and pivot it and get it exactly squared up, and then we'll get to wiring. So you can see now on the inside, I have this, it's shifted forward quite a bit. So I just need to go ahead and press up and slide it back. And this is all pretty easy to do one person, but it would be nice to have someone up top just to make sure everything's nice and square. Otherwise, I'm gonna go back and forth a couple times just to make sure it's set perfectly. All right, now that we are all good and center, I'm gonna go ahead and pull my electrical down. I got my little extra wire that I ran for the outdoor temperature sensor. I'm gonna go ahead and get this all pulled off, and we're gonna start wiring up. All right, so to get started on this unit, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the front cover. It's just those 4 screws. All right, with those 4 screws removed, on the bottom side here, we just got a little wire that was wrapped up in this, and now this is my piece that goes up against the ceiling. All right, before we can get the base piece up there, we first have to get the duct started. Now there's basically a little 3M strip around the top, and then you have the oblong, the longer version of a duct plate, and that's the one that's going to go to the rooftop air conditioner. So I'm just taking this 3M off very carefully, ensuring that I'm leaving the sticky back to it, and then sticking this down to the plate. Once you have that done, don't worry about it being perfect, because this is going to suck up into the unit. There's 4 screw holes, as you can see here. We're going to go ahead and get this basically set up onto there with those 4 holes into the 4 corners, and then we're going to trim this down for the length that we need for the RV, because obviously different roofs of RVs have different sizes. Now to get this mounted, be careful, you don't want to strip this stuff out, okay? So I just barely got that first couple screws in, just like that, before I tighten them all down. Otherwise I can risk this thing being off, stripping those things out. So I just do it nice and easy the first round, and then you can tighten them up. All right, next I'm gonna go ahead and get this base piece up. I'm gonna feed that duct through here, keep all the wiring off to the side over there. I keep my 120 wiring around the side up front here. Keep this wiring around the side over here. I'm just getting it all up and in place, and then we're gonna take the 4 bolts, and they're gonna go in through these 4 bolt holes that you can see up to the rooftop air conditioner, which you can see the bolt nuts up there where they're threaded into. And we're gonna get this all lined up nice and evenly. All right, so I got the duct fed through. Now, I'm sure you can probably see here that the duct is sitting a little bit forward of where this thing is lined up. Okay, and that's just my restrictions of my opening. I think that's why this is such a nice system, is they do this duct so it can be off a little bit, and you're still gonna get amazing airflow that's nice and sealed. Because on this inside, we're still gonna seal this on the inside as well. But anyway, so right now I'm just going and working these bolts in and through to get this brought up. But what I'm doing is I'm bringing up one at a time. Okay, so you can see like this one I can fit my finger through, this one's tight. I'm just going up one at a time, typically in a star pattern. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 to raise this up. Okay, so for my situation, because of that extra board and everything I did, I just tucked that up on top here. I use this little clamp to keep it taut and in place, so that is sitting up there. Now for everyone else, just regular installation. I have my 120 coming from the Airstream. I have the 120 that goes up to the roof unit, and that is going to get connected in this box. We'll do that in a minute. And then here is just the simple plug that this plug gets plugged into the ceiling unit. All right, now these bolts, these 4 bolts that are what suck the unit down, the ceiling unit down into the roof, I'm not going to over tighten these initially, okay? The manual says basically 2 foot-pounds of torque. That I don't understand how that could ever be correct. So I'm going to do what I did last time when I replaced an air conditioner. I'm basically just going to rip these down a little bit with my impact gun and pay attention to the gasket as it goes. Once the gasket is squeezing just a little bit and you can see it kind of squeezing in, you know you got a nice good seal. Now, if you end up having a leak when it's really, really rainy, you know that you probably didn't tighten these up enough and that water's probably just coming in through that gasket. So just get up there and tighten them up. But I wish I could tell you an exact torque setting, but that foam gasket is what's going to be your most important thing to pay attention to. All right, so we got a couple things to go ahead and take care of next. I went in and got my 120 wiring from the Airstream, routed through here. We're going to go ahead and get this wired up, okay? And it's basically just a ground, your hot, which is the black, and the neutral, which is the white. And then going to the unit up top, same thing. You got ground, which is green, white, which is neutral, and black, which is the leg. L is for leg, that's your power. And we're gonna go ahead and strap these up inside of here. So we're gonna get that done, and we're also gonna go ahead and get this duct done. So let's actually show you this thing first. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and take our other duct ring, whatever you wanna call this thing, slide that up over. We're gonna get this in place and get ready to get it screwed in. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna trim this and cut your 4 corners so you can fold a piece out. So first, I'm not even gonna trim it, I'm just gonna cut my 4 corners. Okay, so I cut my 4 corners and then I got this thing set and I got it tucked in. And so basically all I'm doing now is just trimming this stuff off, right? So basically I'm just taking my knife, going right up to it, and just getting a nice little score across, and it comes right down. Okay, so that duct is all nice and secure, tight. And again, I mean, it's just such a nicer upgrade from, you know, just like, here's what came with it. Which even this is not your typical RV air conditioner. This is just Airstream, you know, has a little bit nicer stuff. And it's ducted-ish, kind of, sort of. But I mean, this is just a way tighter seal. And of course, it's actually insulated and has, you know, foam going to it. And again, this whole thing, this is all foam all the way around this thing. So this whole thing is insulated for the air supply coming through. It's just, I mean, what an incredible upgrade they did. All right, so here is a look at our AC wiring. Okay, I got my power coming in from the Airstream. Okay, again, load, which is your hot leg, that's your black, neutral, which is white, and then the ground, and then going into the AC unit, ground, neutral, and load. Very simple to do. A couple little straps already pre-built into it. All right, so we are ready to connect the indoor unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the indoor unit, bring it up into place. This connector just gets plugged into the connector onto the indoor unit. Then we're gonna go ahead and use this little clamp here to clamp that up out of the way. Then the indoor unit comes all the way up, and then there's the 4 screws that end up going in down here, which is the same 4 screws you took out earlier. Okay, so that job would be a little bit easier with 2 people, but I still was able to get it done by myself. Just one hand made the clamp connection. So now I'm gonna go to remove all of our tape on this thing, and we're going to turn my circuit breaker back on and test it out. We're going to turn power on, and the unit immediately has started to do stuff. So let's go ahead and get this thing turned on, and let's crank our temperature down. And it's already on turbo. Damn, that is quiet. I mean, that's just, all I hear is airflow, and it's pretty minimal. Jeez Louise. All right. I forgot to mention, just to show you guys, there are 3 different methods of controlling the system. Of course, there's a control panel on the system itself, on the indoor unit. Very simple to use, clean buttons, good to go. Second is the remote control. Also very clean, simple, easy to use. A couple buttons on it. It's very basic, but it tells you exactly what you need to do. And again, in the manual, it shows you exactly what you need to do to get into like swing mode, stuff like that. And the third, and my favorite, is the app. This is Wi-Fi. This is online. I don't know how I forgot to tell you guys that. It's one of the best features about it because, again, just like my thermostat in the back, that's online. So I like to have these things online so I can see, change temperatures while I'm away from the RV and stuff like that. So in the app is the third thing. And if you have any questions about that stuff, make sure to drop them in the comments below. Just the final little trim pieces. These little rubber things came in with all the packs of screws, and that is to go ahead and put on your unit to cover up the screw holes. Talk about an upgrade. I mean, look at my old indoor unit and that new indoor unit. I mean, just super clean. Again, super insulated on the inside. Absolutely incredible. Let's take a look at the rooftop unit. So on the Dometic unit, it looks like the highest point back here, all the way in the back, is probably right around 11 inches or so. I'll look up online what the exact specs say they are. But so we're going from about 11 inches to about 13 inches, 12 and a half or so. And again, I'll look up the specs online and tell you exactly what they say that they are. But man, that unit is clean. It is very nice looking. It is definitely, about an inch or two higher than the Dometic unit. No big deal, especially on an Airstream where I'm not really that concerned about height. But let's go ahead and do some power testing. All right, so I want to go ahead and do some power testing for you. So this is our number we're going to be paying attention to is our AC load. Right now, it's basically at 10 watts. It's floating in between 9, 11, 13. Everything's unplugged. I'm not sure what is even drawing the wattage. Probably just like the TV on standby, stuff like that. But so essentially, 10 to 15 watts is the only number we're paying attention to. Everything else new is going to be from an air conditioner. So first, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the stock Dometic air conditioner and show you how bad that energy draw is. All right, I've turned it on. It's on a delay, but let's get it over here to our Victron system. And again, it's floating between 8 watts, 10 watts, 7 watts. There's really nothing plugged in. But as soon as that AC kicks on here in just a second, we should see this number go all the way up to its max running. All right, so around that 400 watt range, that is just the fan only. So the fan is pulling about 360 watts. So let's just call it 360, 370. And the compressor should be kicking on any second now. There it is, 1300 watts total. Okay, now that unit back there is a 13,000 BTU unit, and it's pulling about 1300 watts. The 15,000 BTU unit typically pulls in between 14 and 15,000, but just for the sake of this video, I'm showing you that a 13,000 BTU unit is pulling roughly 1300 and change watts, 1350-ish. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off, and we're gonna turn on the new Gree system. And actually, before I turn it off, I wanted to go ahead and just stand right in front of it and do a little circle here. So you can hear basically how loud the system is. All right, that system is now off. Again, we're showing about that 15 watts. We're going to turn this sucker on, and I'm actually going to put this onto turbo mode and crank the temperature down so it ramps up as high as it possibly can go to show you the highest energy draw. Now the compressor's on. That's it. This thing is running on full blast right now. 900 watts. I mean, that is absolutely insane. About 900 watts, a little bit less. I mean, you can see it 880. Again, minus the 10 from our initial amount, so 870 watts. That's insane. Now, if I go ahead and turn this back to just auto and set it to, say, like 72, I believe the fan should ramp down. And actually, just for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna go and put the fan on low, just so we can put the fan on low. Didn't change a whole lot in terms of our wattage. But again, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it. I'm gonna go ahead and stand, just like I did with the other one, stand right in front of it. Do a little circle here. I mean, it is virtually, I'm completely silent. I mean, the air, super cold. The little bit of noise you can hear, I feel like it's just the airflow. That's all I really hear is the airflow occurring. Very, very, very quiet. All right, so right now I'm just testing out just the fan, just to show the fan energy draw. So the fan is on. That is the only thing that is on, and it is set on high. Okay, so it is on high. I want to swing off right now. So the fan is on high. We're pulling about 74 watts, so minus our approximate 10, so about 65 watts for the fan on high. Now we go fan to low. Okay, Okay, and you can hear it change. It's very quiet, and not much of a difference, about 5 or 6 watts difference. So that is the fan alone. So you're going from the Dometic unit where the fan is pulling like 300 and something watts to now this unit where the fan and fan alone is only pulling about 65 to 70 watts. That's just absolutely incredible. And again, if you didn't watch my video of the initial introduction, that swing button basically allows the vents here on the end to swing down and up. And what that does is it helps to kind of throw the air throughout the RV. Instead of it just being one direct spot, it's helping to throw and mix the air and move it and cool it a lot more efficiently. Now, another nice feature with the Gree unit is not only is it an air conditioning and heat pump, okay, you can run the fan only as well, but it's also a dehumidifier. You can set it to the dry setting and it'll help to dehumidify the air in your coach. We'll talk about an upgrade. I mean, going from 1300 to 1500 watts to 800, 900, that's 33% energy efficiency savings. I mean, a third of it. That's incredible. Of course, right now we're in the fall. I will be testing this thing out in midsummer. I'm going to be testing it out here in winter in heat pump to see how it does in heat pump mode for heating. So this is just an initial thing, just to give you guys some initial numbers, but I will be doing a follow-up video. As always, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, hit the subscribe, turn on the notification bell. If you have any questions, again, make sure to leave them in the comments. I am very, very good about responding to these. If I don't know, I will look up the answer. I will contact the company. I will get the answer for you. Thanks for watching Why Not RV. We'll see you next time. Bye.